The next topic is energy stored in inductor. In this topic, we are deriving the formula for energy stored in inductor. Okay, magnetic energy stored in an inductor. Now, the same AC current source is taken, it's connected to the inductor. So, when inductor is, so means the EMF of the alternating current source is varied according to this formula. E is equal to E naught sin omega t. When the plug is closed in the circuit, when the current is going to rise from 0 to maximum value, a back EMF is produced. We already know the back EMF. This back EMF is equal to how much value? That is, value is E is equal to minus L into di by dt. We already discussed in electromagnetic induction chapter. So, this back EMF can be written as that E is equal to minus L di by dt. Now, this inductor has to be, means through this inductor the current has to flow against to the back EMF. So, this back EMF, what is the role of this back EMF here? This back EMF is opposing the flow of current, opposing the growth and decay of current in the circuit. When the current is growing, it opposes. Back EMF is produced at opposite. When the current is decaying, means current is decreasing, the back EMF develops and opposes. So, this back EMF, what is the role of the back EMF? It opposes the growth and decay of current in this circuit. So, we need to establish current here against to this back EMF, so that the work has to be done. Let dW is the work done. dW is the work done to establish current, in the circuit, against to back EMF. So, then based on this work done, whatever the work we are doing, this work done will be stored as magnetic potential energy. Magnetic potentials. So, now the work has to be done. Let the rate of doing work is the rate of doing work. We already know rate of doing work is equal to power. We can say that the power is can be written as dW by dt. This rate of work done can be equal to E into I, whatever E into I. We already know that E is equal to minus L, dW by dt is equal to, that is, minus L di by dt into I. Okay. So, this is the back EMF we took it here. Actually, the original EMF is also equal to the minus of back EMF. The original EMF I am writing here, the original EMF is equal to minus of back EMF. That means E is equal to minus of minus L into di by dt, that E is equal to L into di by dt. So, I am not writing minus here because it was cancelled. The original EMF is minus of minus back EMF. So, then both sides dt get cancelled, then d omega is equal to Li into di. Integrate on both sides. Integral dW is integral Li di. So, integral dW means the work done W. Integral of small work gives rise to cap. bigger work. So then here L is a constant in the circuit. Now I is not constant, I is a variable with respect to, I is a varying with respect to time. So the constant value I am writing outside of integration, integral I di. So we all know that integral x dx formula, that is x square by 2 according to formula, integral x power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. This is the formula we already know. Based on this formula, the W is equal to L can be written as I square by 2. So then W can be written as half L I square. This total work done, I already told you, this total work done is stored as magnetic potential energy. So the magnetic potential energy, magnetic potential energy, the U can be written as half L I square, that is UB. Magnetic potential energy UB, that is half L I square. Now this is the final expression we got. This is the energy stored in a inductor. But in conclusion, we need to compare this formula with the kinetic energy expression. We already know kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Compare these two expressions. Okay. In the place of m, here we have capital L. Here the m is the mass. So mass is a measure of inertia. We already know measure of inertia in mechanics. So it means it always opposes the change in the motion or change in the direction of motion. Similarly, this inductor also plays the role of electrical inertia. Electrical inertia. How the mass is playing the role of as inertia, this L is also playing the role of electrical inertia. How the mass is opposing the rate of change in motion of a body while it is in motion or whatever it. Similarly, this inductor is also opposing the growth and decay of current in the circuit. The growth and decay of current in the circuit. So this inductor is so called electrical inertia. So called electrical inertia. We need to remember. So this is the derivation we got. Energy stored in a inductor. The next topic we are going to discuss about LC oscillations. LC oscillation. L stands for inductor, C stands for capacitance. Means that we are going to discuss about LC circuit, nothing but a LC circuit. Why it's so called oscillations? In this topic we are going to understand that the energy stored in the inductor get transferred to the capacitor, and the energy stored in a capacitor transfers to the inductor, and vice versa continuously. So that's why there is some oscillations are produced sinusoidally, means the energy get transferred in between L and C sinusoidally. So let's see this. That's why called LC oscillator. Let's see the circuit. This is the inductor and capacitor. Plug key K2, the plug key K1, a cell or battery can be connected here. So now let us discuss first. The plug key K1 is closed. The first case, the plug key, the K1 is closed. When the plug key K1 gets closed, what will happen? The circuit get on, the current start to flow from positive plate. This is the positive plate, this is negative plate. The current flows in this direction. The capacitor plates gets charged. The capacitor plate, now this is uncharged capacitor. When the current, when the plug key is closed, the current flows, the capacitor gets charged. Now it becomes positive plate, it becomes negative plate. So now after some time, the capacitor gets fully charged and the current start to flow, stopped. The current doesn't flow further after capacitor gets fully charged. Let's suppose the capacitor gets fully charged. Now open the plug key K1. Okay. After capacitor fully charged, open the plug key K1. Open the plug key K1. Here we need to understand one point. During the charge of the capacitor, the current gradually increases. When the capacitor gets fully charged, the current gets maximum by the time. Okay? When the capacitor gets fully charged, the current flowing in the circuit gets saturated, maximum current flows in the circuit. Thereafter, current becomes zero suddenly. So, the plug key is closed. The moment the plug key is opened, thereafter the plug key K2 is closed. Thereafter, the plug key K2 is closed. The closed means on situation. This is on. Open the plug key means off. Okay, when the plug key K2 is on, now this circuit is completed. Now this is a completely charged capacitor. Now this capacitor start to discharge by itself by flowing the current in the circuit through the inductor. So the current flows from positive plate to negative plate. In this, because in this way the capacitor is getting discharged. The current flows in this direction. So while the capacitor is getting discharged, the current flows in the circuit. Now the current flows in the circuit gets gradually increasing. The moment the current is increasing, the magnetic flux associated with this inductor coil also increasing. This is what happening when the capacitor is discharging its charge through this circuit. The current is also increasing. When the current is increasing the circuit, the magnetic flux associated with this inductor coil is also increasing. When the magnetic flux associated with the coil is increasing, a back EMF is produced. The back EMF allows the growth of current in the circuit. Okay. So similarly, after some time, what happening? The electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor, completely transformed to the inductor in the form of magnetic potential energy. The moment the capacitor is completely discharged, the current in the circuit gets maximum. That energy stored in the inductor, magnetic energy stored in the inductor is also gets maximum. Means the total electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor gets converted into magnetic potential energy in inductor. The moment it gets maximum, again the current start to flow in the same direction, because the moment the magnetic field energy gets maximum, the current fall down to immediately to zero. When the current fall down to flowing in the circuit immediately zero, a back EMF is produced in the same coil to maintain the flow of current in the same direction, such a way that this capacitor gets charged by with opposite polarity. Earlier case, this is the positive plate, this is negative plate. While capacitor is completely discharged, the current flowing in the same direction. The moment the current flowing in the circuit fall down to zero, this inductor in this inductor a back EMF is produced. This back EMF tries to maintain the current in the same direction in such a way that to charge this capacitor with opposite polarity. Okay, this earlier this is positive plate, this now this plate becomes negative, this plate becomes positive to maintain this current in the same direction. So discharging case. So in this way, the total mechanical energy, that means magnetic energy stored in this inductor, gets converted into electrostatic energy of this capacitor. This way, this process will continue the further and further. This way, the electrostatic energy stored in this capacitor gets converted into magnetic energy in the inductor. This magnetic energy stored in this inductor gets converted into electrostatic potential energy. So if this process will happen and further continuously, if there is no energy losses in this circuit. So in this way, it produces LC oscillations. What do you mean by LC oscillations? Means the electrostatic energy gets converted into magnetic potential energy. Magnetic potential energy gets converted into electrostatic energy. So in this way, the LC oscillations will be produced. So we need to understand, remember, when the capacitor getting discharged, what is the direction of current? What is the direction of current? In the same direction the current flows while it discharging. When the capacitor is discharging, in what direction the current is flowing? In the same direction current flows while it is charging. But the opposite polar tracks are maintained. After it is completely, in the second case, after it is completely charged, the current flows in opposite direction. Now this is become positive plate, this is negative plate. So the current flows in opposite direction. This mark, the current flows in this, earlier the current flowing in this direction, in this way. So second case, after the polarities get changed, the current flows in another direction. So in this way, the energy is being transferred between L and C. So this is called LC oscillation. So in this circuit, we are going to discuss some derivation part. Here, let's suppose this is capacitor plate, this is inductor. What is the potential difference across the capacitor plate? That is V is equal to Q by C. This is the potential difference between capacitor plate. Similarly, a back EMF is produced, or EMF across inductor, that is E is equal to L into di by dt. I am not writing minus here. So these two EMF are one and one against each other. So the net EMF can be written as the Q by C minus L into di by dt is equal to 0. The net EMF in the circuit is 0 because there is no energy source in this here, in this circuit. So net EMF, that is Q by C minus L into di by dt is equal to 0. So then in this case, as you know that I is equal to formula dq by dt. Here I am writing the minus, I am putting sign here. What is the mean by minus? Why I put a minus signature here? When the capacitor when the charge in the capacitor is decreasing, the current flowing in the circuit gets maximum. So we need to understand, when charge in capacitor is decreasing, the current flowing in circuit, gets maximum, it will be increased. So that's why I put a minus signature here. So then in the place of I am writing here, the Q by C is equal to minus L into d by dt of dq by dt is equal to 0. Then Q by C is equal to, that is minus into minus plus L into d square Q by dt square is equal to 0. So then, this L into d square Q by dt square can be written as, plus Q by C is equal to 0. This d square Q by dt square can be written as plus Q by LC is equal to 0. So this is the second order differential equation for LC oscillations. So it means that what can we conclude? This is a second order differential. This is the same in case of simple harmonic motion. We have a second order differential equation, d square x by dt square plus omega square x is equal 0. This is the second order differential equation for simple harmonic motion, where the particle is in simple harmonic motion. Similarly, compare these two equations. Compare these two equations. In the place of x displacement, there is a charge. Means how the particle is displacement, how it is varying, displacement, how it is varying sinusoidally. You have the charge in the circuit also getting varied sinusoidally. In the place of omega square, what we have? 1 by LC. Omega square is equal to 1 by LC. Then omega is equal to 1 by root over LC. Then omega, you already know that omega is equal to 2 pi nu, that is 1 by root over LC. Then from this one, the nu is equal to 1 by 2 pi root over LC. So this is the the frequency of LC oscillations formula. Nu is equal to 1 by 2 pi root over LC, or the angular frequency formula 1 by root over LC. So this is the case we need to understand the LC oscillations differential equation. What is happening in LC oscillations? The electrostatic energy gets converted into magnetic potential energy and vice versa. So this is the, I hope you understand LC oscillations better. Now next we are going to discuss about the topic transformer. So it is a combination of two words, transformer. It means what it transforms. It means it transforms. What it transforms? It transforms the AC current from low voltage to high voltage. Transform the AC current. Transform the AC current from low voltage to high voltage, or it transforms the AC current from high voltage to low voltage. So this is called transformer, right? So this way it was named as a transformer. It means that the AC current can be, the voltage of AC current can be increased or decreased by using this transformer. So let's see that how it is transferred. Transformer is nothing but the laminated iron core. It's nothing but the laminated iron core. It has laminated iron core on which the copper coil is wounded. On which the copper coil is wounded. Number of turns. Okay, this is called transformer. Now the transformer, it is nothing but a laminated iron core on which the copper coil is wounded in number of turns. This is called transformer. The transformer, there are two types of transformer. The one is step up transformer. The second one is step down transformer. So what do you mean by step up transformer? Before to learn what is difference between the transformer mainly has two coils. One is a primary coil. This is called primary coil. And the second one is called secondary coil. Similarly, this is called primary coil and this one is called secondary coil. Which one is so called primary coil? To this primary coil, we connect to the alternating source. To which coil the alternating source is connecting, that coil is named as primary coil. So I am repeating once again, to which coil the alternating current source is connected, that coil is so called primary coil. So this is so called V input voltage. So from this coil, from which coil we are receiving the output voltage, receiving the output voltage is called output coil, is so called secondary coil. So here V input, this is V output. So here the voltage is also called Vp. The voltage at primary coil, here the voltage is so called Vs, voltage at secondary coil. So here let the number of turns in primary coil is Np. So Np is the number of turns in primary coil. So how many number of turns are there? This is so called Np. Similarly, let Ns is the number of turns in secondary coil. Okay, so number of turns in secondary coil. So here the what lines we have taken here, this part is called core. What is we call laminated iron core. This is represented as laminate core, over which the coils are indicated two types. One is primary coil, the secondary coil. So in this way also, this is called primary coil. Output input, the AC source is given to this place. The output current is drawn from here. Okay, so the number of the voltage is Vp here, Vs here. The number of turns Np, here number of turns is Ns. Okay, so now let us see the differentiate the step up and step down. So what is the, why it's so called step up transformer? Step up transformer means the transformer which increase the voltage at constant current. So transformer which increase the AC voltage, at constant current. So this is called step up transformer. What do you mean by step down? Down means decreasing voltage, which decrease the voltage at constant current is called step down transformer. Now this is step up transformer, this is step. How to differentiate the step up transformer? By diagrammatically. Now in the primary coil, I took it, see that I do this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. There is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 extra. It means that in case of step up transformer, the number of turns in secondary coil is greater than number of turns in primary coil. So it means the number of turns in secondary coil is greater than the number of turns in primary coil. That means NS is greater than NP in case of step-up transformer. The more number of turns in secondary coil. Similarly, in step-up transformer, the V output voltage is greater than, we already said it increases the AC voltage, the output voltage is greater than input voltage. That means the Vs is greater than Vp. The secondary voltage is greater than primary. Whereas in case of step down transformer, what happening? You look at this diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns I drew here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 turns I drew here. So where in which coil the number of turns is more? That is primary coil. So in the step down transformer, the number of turns in primary coil is greater than the number of turns in secondary coil. So we can write here the number of turns in primary coil is greater than the number of turns in secondary coil. So that means NP is greater than NS. NP is greater than NS. Similarly, here, what is the action of the step down transformer? Which decrease the voltage. Decrease means V output voltage is less than V input voltage. That means V output voltage less than V input. That means V at secondary, voltage at secondary coil is less than voltage at primary coil. So based on these two factors, based on these matters, we can write the transformer ratio. We can write transformer ratio expression. So what is transformer ratio? What is the transformer ratio is? So we already discussed here the voltage, where here the step up transformer is increasing the voltage, step down transformer decreasing the voltage. Based on that, a normal basic formula can be written as to, which is applicable to both type of transformer. That is NS by NP is equal to Vs by Vp. What ratio the voltage is increasing here, the same ratio turns are there. It means that for example, here in case of Vp, 1 volt is given. For example, we got 10 volts output voltage we are getting. For example, in this case, for example, 10 turns are in primary coil. How much of turns can be existed in the secondary coil? Voltage, how many times the voltage gets increased? 10 times. The voltage increases by 10 times. So the same way, the turns also has to be more in this secondary. Means here 10 turns means it has to be 100 turns. We can easily calculate how much of turns can be existed in the secondary coil. For example, here in the primary coil is a 5 turns. The secondary coil, for example, 100 turns. How much times the number of coils in secondary increased by with respect to the primary coil? 5 into 20, and means 20 times increased. 20 times increased. For example, if it is 1 volt in the primary coil, how much voltage can be received from our secondary coil? 20 times. 20 into 1 to 20 volts. 20 volts voltage can be withdrawn from here. Similarly, in case of step down transformer, for example, here 100 volts is given. For example, this is the 100 turns. Now here 10 turns. Okay, then how much of voltage can be withdrawn? At what ratio it was decreased? 10 times the number of turns, 100 to 10. Similarly, the voltage also can be decreased to 10 times. So voltage can be 10 volts only. So this way, by using this transformer ratio, we can easily understand what ratio the voltage get to increase if you know the number of turns on both sides. So this is called transformer ratio. step up transformer, step down transformer. Similarly, there is 2 marks question in what type of transformer used in a bed lamp. In the case of bed lamp, not only in a bed lamp, when while we are charging our cellular phones, we use adapters, that means chargers, the so-called chargers. In the charger also, there is a circuit of full-wave rectifier. In this, what is happening? There is a transformer is used in this adapter also. That transformer, what is the role of transformer in this adapter or 6 volts bed lamp? Generally, we receive a current of voltage 220 volts to our home. But to charge the capacitor or to glow the bed lamp, how much of voltage we require? Only 6 volts of voltage is required. So that in this adapter or a bed lamp, a step down transformer is used to decrease the voltage as per our requirement. Similarly, where we use the step up transformer, where we use step up transformer in homes, and the tube light, in case of tube light, the tube light can be glow only with a high voltage only. But in our home, how much of voltage we are receiving from the power station, that means substations, 220 volts. But it has to, it will glow only more than 220 volts AC. So that there is choke was provided at the tube light. The choke is a step up transformer, used as a step up transformer. It increases the voltage locally from 220 volts to the whatever voltage required for to glow the tube light. So in the same way, the tube light, in the tube light, step up transformer is used. So these are the uses of step up and step up transformer and where it is used, you understand. Okay, so thank you very much. With this topic, I concluded this transformer ratio. Thank you one and all.